So now what used to happen back in the days in the dryer, as soon as I put my clothes on, they come and open it and leave it open, or they'll push the button again. I come down 40 minutes later, my clothes are still wet. With this, what could be done, this could be open, a little bit can be dropped in there after they get washed so they come out slimy and soapy. I've had it all done to me, guys. I've seen it all, trust me. It's been about a year of hardcore torture and abuse. But I got used to it now. I don't even feel it anymore. I'm expecting it, that's why. And life, it's all about expectation. If you're expecting the worst and you still have the will to move forward, then when the worst does happen, it won't affect you anymore. This game works, it's when they surprise you. When you're expecting to get to level, I don't know, A, and you get level B. So you get demotivated. If they can't surprise you, they lost the power. It's all about surprising you. So when you're expecting the shots that you're getting on a daily basis, they're not going to bother you anymore. They won't. You become strong. Obviously, they put those things in my face everywhere. You got to remember that. This is the battle that you're fighting here. It's not about intelligence anymore or knowing what's going to happen or seeing what's going to happen. It's about strength. Now, our game is about strength. Because you think about it, okay, now I know what they're doing to me, why they're still doing it. Because it ain't about figuring it out and making them stop. It's about strength. It's about you being able to handle these shots that they're giving you. Because you're giving somebody shots when you walk into a dismantling session like that. A very, very destructive plateau. You know what I mean? I mean, this looks like I'm advertising for Taster's Choice here. This is like the real Truman Show, you know what I mean? Why don't you try Taster's Choice? Very tasty. It's a good coffee though. So, guys, this is where we are today. So I had a visit from my brother. And he's been good, he's been acting civilized, but what he did is, I was sitting on the couch where I work on my computer and everything, and he sat on my side. Well, he kept on moving the whole time, coughing a little bit, asking questions. Every time I get into something important, he'd interrupt. He wants to go to the internet. He wants to pull this out of there. Where's the fridge? What's inside of it? Now, these things are usually normal when you have somebody come in that hasn't been there for a while. He wants to know where everything is. But that's not the point. The point is when he asked me for those things. At the most important moments where I was doing something important to keep me cut off, keep me distracted, keep me, you know, I can't do it. I tried to help him out, but I can't. I need my own space because outside for me is very destructive. As soon as I step out of my house, there's destruction waiting for me on my tail as soon as I leave. So it's going to be hard to first meet the right doctor to take the x-ray and admit that you have a microchip because they're on your tail. So if you get a doctor the easy way, an ophthalmologist to check you out, especially from a source that they tapped, you know you ain't gonna get anywhere with that. Especially the one they gave me, he's on Steels and Keel. You know how far it is that from me? These guys have a fascination with making you go long distances so you tire and waste your time and wait forever, and you get there, you get nothing out of it. By the time you get back, you spent half of the day, you're drained, you're disappointed because you didn't get the job done. It's just complete destruction. Complete psychological and social destruction. Over here now, they're gonna keep going up and down into the pool. They could play with their hair anywhere, but they only do it in this opening that I'm looking at. They won't, the pool's empty, look, there's no one in it. They only sit over there and move. Just to show you that it's my building too, the tenants around me that are stalking me. Look, it's empty, there's no one in it. They could have been anywhere, but they only go over there in that little area that I can see them go up and down. But that's the idea. So, Vince, this evil science has been... Basically, guys, what they do is they microchip you without you expecting it. So you go, you do a surgery. You get your eyes done, especially eyes, because mine is eyes. Where I look, they move. I look, they know, they move. I look over here, they're going to start to move. She puts out her hand, she asks questions, see her hand. So if I look over there, the car will move, or this guy will close the door. Look, he's grabbing the door to shut it. He walked away. Did you see him, the little kid? He went to the back. I look over there, they're gonna move. So how do they know? It's a microchip in my eye that pretty much guides everything. That's why lately you've noticed in my videos, the movements became more subtle. Because I kept on looking at them back and forth and they kept on doing the same move over and over again like a bunch of idiots. Toilet paper, it's a classic. You have it in almost every video. I bump into someone who has a big roll of toilet paper and they're flashing it in my face. It's to disgust you. Because this resembles wiping your ass. Excuse my français. And so on and so forth. I've seen them all. I've said them all to you guys, the tactics. And the constant pacing in front of you, one after the other, one after the other. You don't get a break to look at a subtle setting to relax for 5-10 minutes. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Pop, 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 behind your back. Honking, sneezing, shitting, farting. This is the idea. To keep you disgusted, to keep you miserable, to keep the pacing in front of you, to keep those weird looking faces that they pick and hire for you to see in the morning. The canes. 99% of these people don't need those canes. It's for you to see that there's a cane there because it resembles disability. It's negative. They want to surround you with that all day long. I've mentioned those things in all my videos before. But now we're doing the laundry today. We're trying to have a coffee, enjoy our cigarette out here. And you have to learn how to do that. You have to learn how to accept this war that's being waged on you and enjoy yourself. Because if you don't learn how to sneak yourself into a corner, exclude yourself from your very negative surroundings, and find a little mini thing to please yourself with, to nurture your inner being, your inner self, you can't survive this. It's constant war on you, 24/7. So you have to find your small bubble, I call, inside this big torturous bubble, a small comfort safety zone where you can nurture yourself and come out and fight this big bubble on a daily basis because it's ongoing. You get it? So they have their own science, I got mine. They're applying science to depress on me in a big bubble, and I'm applying myself, I'm isolating myself sometimes within this big bubble, wherever I go, in a small bubble that it's my safety zone. I can pretty much revert and reject these weapons that are being applied on me on a every setting basis. Overall, they made it civilized because what they've had before was very obvious that it's being stalked. And how did I accomplish that? By two ways. Making the videos, storing them, showing them that I could expose you, and letting them rob me. Because if they didn't rob me and take out those videos, that I still had them, then they'd have no reason to do this. They would keep the attack strong. But because I showed them, like I said, look, I made the videos, I put them on YouTube. Look how destructive this looks. They got scared. Send me a woman to rob them. And then they calm down the setting. So that's how I benefited from this. At least on a smaller level than having those videos as proof to show the abuse that I'm going through. Because it would have exposed it. That maybe would have been better for me. But you gotta take what you can get in my shoes. You can't be picky. Because you're all alone in a torturous bubble. There's about a zillion people that surround me everywhere I go, and I'm all alone. With not one soul to consult, to take advice from, to give and take with, to connect emotionally, physically, whatever. So you're this prisoner in this psychological warfare machine that's surrounding you everywhere you go, and it's constantly attacking your every single weakness and deprivation. Every time you turn your head somewhere, bam, you turn your head here, bam, even if it's a small sign, even if it's a piece of ass, even if it's a guy having something you can afford, or this is what I'm surrounded with. It's what you see that processes it to the brain, that the brain then tells the body or the soul, shit man, I wish I had that, or shit, I need that right now, or shit, I haven't had that in a while. And this is constant. Every second, every time you look at someone, they're sending you a message through them that only applies to you. If there were other people around and looked at what they were doing, they would see it as something completely different. This is the torturous bubble that you're in. So you have to have your safety zone, the smaller bubble where you're nicely cocooned. And their war on me is more than anything a war of Down syndrome is a lot, I see it. It's a war of keeping me deprived of money, because it's the use of money that will help me come out of it. Buy a motorbike that I can beat them to the punch, or rent in a different place that's not set up already where they can't possibly get the real people out of there. And the residents in the building, they can't keep them hidden for how long? So it's money, be able to get a place to be stable, and from there get transportation to beat them to the punch. It's over. Or be able to get a doctor to find a microchip and remove it. That's the best way to come out of this, and all this would disappear. Because that's what connects them to me. They're here because the person who's tapping me through the microchip knows where I am the whole time, and wherever I go, he contacts them and tells them what to do, and they come surround me and apply that science on me that they're being told to do. Most of them don't even understand the science. They're being given certain elements, certain things to do. They say, okay, he'll say, like, put on your red shirt today, walk up to this guy. As soon as you pass in front of him, as soon as he looks at you, pull out a cigarette. For him, that's the information he knows. But the machine knows that you're deprived of cigarettes today. So they send you 100 like this guy right in front of you, and they tell him, if he asks you for a cigarette, don't give him one. So for an example, I walk down the street from my house all the way to the corner, and I see 100 guys. Every time I look at one, he pulls out a smoke and he smokes it. I ask him, he said, no, I don't have one. What would happen to me by the time I get through those 100? Ya get it? Así como funciona la cosota. Entonces, this is the warfare machine that surrounds me psychologically, emotionally, and is attacking me, guys. Every single person I see is bringing me a message that's emotionally and psychologically draining. It's an attack on you because you're imprisoned. They're deciding who you see at this point and how he's going to be dressed and what he's going to tell you and what he's going to be carrying. Not nature, not naturally. They're deciding that. They're deciding that I would see my brother on the intersection, not over here. And when I see him on the intersection, he's going to be dressed like this. He's going to be hanging out with this girl. He's going to be... So they psychologically, they're attacking you with every single person you see. Every single person. You're being attacked psychologically. And because you're being cut off from the world, you're not having a certain person or a place where you can go to and just breathe in and out. Release all that bad energy. You're stuck in the middle, and it's this machine of bad energy. It's just filling you up with it, one after the other, till you get to a moment of explosion. How do you fight that entity? How? By creating your small, nurturing bubble, even though you have to trick yourself sometimes. This is how you fight it. This, to a normal human being, is that lives in a country where they can afford things, to come out with a cup of coffee and have a smoke, is something that they don't even think twice about. Doesn't give them anything, any kind of nurture. Okay, something they like, they just had it, fine, that's done, go next, move on. Even actually, while they're having it, they're thinking of something better that's going on in their lives and fantasizing about it and looking forward to it. So they don't even taste it. But for a guy like me who's got so little, who's in a torture bubble, constantly, 24/7, this is gold. A smoke in the morning is gold. But you have to look at those things. You have to value them. So what this does, this prison to a human being, is it strengthens you and it makes you value everything. It brings out the best in you if you're strong enough to take the punches. Because it's the only way that you're going to come out of this is by being super strong and super humble. You got to get rid of all the weaknesses that attack us as human beings in order to come out of this. Because the best way to come out of it is to start off from scratch, the way I was cut off from the tree long time ago, and build my own connections properly. That's something nobody can take away from you. Right now, if I decide I want to be good, I want to find a good job, to do good things out of it, to save my money, to build a nice apartment. Those are the things they can't take away from you regardless of what they do. They're going to delay you. There's a war on you, but eventually you'll get to them. You got to remember that in life, it's all about effort. When you put enough effort into something, who the fuck are they to take it away from you? Those are the laws and rules of the planet that nobody can break. Even a satanic power like this nasty bubble. They cannot break these laws and rules. So it all goes back to you. If you're gonna be weak and fuck around, they're gonna fucking nail you at every corner. But if you're strong enough and you pick the right decisions and make the right moves from where you are, properly, with tons of effort, guys, nobody can take that away from you. Nobody. Nobody. These are your protected rights and laws that this planet has from the day you're born. You just have to understand them, evade all that's dirty and bullshit, and keep going straight. Not give up. Be persistent and resilient. And have one fucking hard head. You gotta be one hard-headed motherfucker. Because doubt is trying to enter your small safety bubble every second. They're attacking you with more than anything is doubt. Doubt is a paralyzing poison to anyone. This is what makes any woman or man fall, is doubt. Alright? I'm sorry, sometimes my videos lately, I feel like they're being lectures. I don't mean to lecture anybody, but I'm opening up to you guys since I have nobody to talk to. Every single creature that I bump into is designed to psychologically warfare me, even if I say hi to them. With their conversation, with their smirk, with their nothing. There's nothing nurturing here to give and take with a natural human being that's there because he needs to be there for other things, not there for you. In order so you can walk up to them and they can apply the science on you and dismantle you. So I'm all alone. You guys are my only friend. Alright? Anyways, it's been great talking to you. Let's go back and check it out. I think it's probably about 10 minutes left. That's if they didn't already screw it up and put detergent on the clothes again, which will ruin everything for me. I won't even have underwear and socks to wear for tomorrow. And that's about it. You see, I just barely got out of there, got here. I got close, I heard a cough. That's a weapon, that's an attack. I just got attacked with a cough, and when I looked at them, they moved. So you're being attacked. Those are small things, but when everybody you meet does that, they're a weapon, guys. That wasn't a natural cough. That was waiting for me to get within a hearing distance. And then, you know what happens to you if you're coughing all day long? This person, they pick him for his look, because he looks like a homeless guy. For me to look at that, that reminds me of homelessness, poverty, craziness. He acts crazy, lunacy. It's to give you these bad feelings. He's gonna ask me for a cigarette. Watch. How you doing?
How are you?
Huh?
How are you?
Good. I'm broke. No smokes. Deprived of everything. Being attacked psychologically, warfare, and every person I bump into. Besides that, I'm surviving. That's how it is, guys. And I know for a lot of people that have never seen my videos may look at this video and say, whatever, please watch my other videos so you can see proof of what I encounter on my trail everywhere I go. And if you can find me for 2 minutes without looking at someone, having someone move or talk around me, I'll give you anything you want. There you go. 2 minutes, not even 1 minute. So, before I even spoke, so psychological warfare is being brought to me with every person, with the way they look, if it's a woman or her sexuality, if it's a man, the smirk on his face or the laugh, burst out laugh when you do something, when you say something. This is what I'm surrounded with. It's not a natural environment. They're destructive settings that apply the same tactics on you everywhere you go. I've said that before in a lot of videos. And what these guys don't like, they know that I know everything now in terms of how this works. That's not a problem. There's 11 minutes left. It's not about knowing. See, the music's playing in case I stay here. So I hear something irritating. There's always someone in the laundry room with me. They know I'm coming, they come before me. And if they don't, as soon as I get here, they'll come after. This is nothing new. I filmed enough videos in the laundromat. And thank God it's only one. You gotta see it on the bright side. It used to be 10. that come down at the same time, do the dancing monkey move in front of me. The whole time I'm loading clothes into the washer or the dryer, they're all moving and talking and screaming. Their kids are screaming. There we go. So it's every minute, 2-minute interval. The provocation, the irritation, everything. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You beat the fuck out of everybody? You can't do that. Because that's what they want. This bubble is designed that way, to be very irritating and provocative. That's just sticking you every 2 seconds like this. The whole time you're being held and this is being done to you. You see how much strength you gotta have to completely ignore this happening around you 24/7. You gotta keep ignoring it and find ways to evade it and get strong and build and not pretend it's not there. This is my battle. In the shape of form of bumping into normally looking people that are just passing by there. But that's not the case. Concentrate, look at the detail. So I'm trying to describe it in the best way for you guys on video. I'm trying to demonstrate it in the best way to show you that, you know, try to open up your eyes to something like this because it's hard to see it on video. It's an energy too. You gotta sense it off these people. The phone, the camera doesn't transmit energy feeling to you, which it will pretty soon. That's the technology they're building. That's the reason why they want to make this small telephone into a chip inside your body, in your brain. So they tap into your senses. Everything that they're applying to me, then they'll be able to apply it to you guys. Because they sense how you feel then. They sense if the weapon is working on you. So they can apply more and more of it. Or if it's not working, they apply less and less of it. All right, guys, we're into my apartment. I'm going to just put this coffee in, get something to drink. So even in my own building, when I'm doing the laundry, all these people that you see coming out of the elevator, going into the elevator, they don't live here, guys. They don't. Because if they did, this building will have a zillion people by now. But what they do is, because they want to attack me with the same weapons. Outside, they can make it look, it's not obvious. Okay, these people are waiting at the bus stop. You know what I mean? Just like you. But in my building, when you see 1,000 faces in a couple of days or 2,000 faces, you will realize that they don't all live here. They couldn't have. Unless every apartment, they had 2,000 friends and 2,000 family members that visited them on a weekly basis. But they want to bring in the weapons close to me because they're not affecting me on the outside. They're trying to take advantage of every moment they can get where they keep me bothered and irritated and defocused and distracted and annoyed and irritated and angry. Because if you're feeling like that, you can't function. You can't think straight. You won't make the right decisions for yourself and you won't move forward. And in this bubble, it doesn't matter what you accomplish in terms of defending yourself. If you're not laying the bricks of moving forward on a daily basis, at least achieve a brick or two, you'll never come out of this prison. I don't care how tough you are, how much beating you can take. The idea is while you're taking the beating to still move forward, keep laying a brick here, half a brick here in information or in material or in doing, you know what I mean, in action. In implementation of your actions into things. Looking for a job, buying a car, whatever. So I came up here really fast to get a drink. I was going to say to buy a drink. And you got to regroup your thoughts. You got to make sure. You got to stay concentrated. Because once you get defocused, that's when the machine starts to be effective. As soon as you get defocused, you get destroyed. You can't let this machine defocus you and distract you, because then you start to lose everything. That's their entrance. That's the machine's entrance, the door to your dismantlement. You know what I mean? Sorry guys, you know why I block it when I go into my apartment? Because I've never ever in my life lived in an apartment that's like this. In terms of the mess and everything. Not dirty, I clean it, but it's messy. And I still do have a bit of pride, believe it or not, after everything that I've gone through. You gotta remember that. You gotta remember that. You gotta take the weapon they're fighting you with, mold it, and benefit from it. Take out some kind of nurture. Even though it's fooling yourself. Even though, I mean, most of the time with me, it's not fooling myself, because I know where I'm getting at. You know what I mean? But you have to understand that. You have to be able to find a way to take their weapon that they're attacking you with, mold it, do something with it, and suck a little bit of juice out of it for yourself, to nurture yourself. Because if you can't do that, This bubble will overwhelm you and will beat the shit out of you. Because that's the idea of it. This is a Freemasonic design of a dismantlement bubble, that they bubble up really strong people and intelligent people that are not good in society for them. They're called undesirables because they won't take their bait. We're stronger than other people, so we won't accept the physical pleasures that they're trying to give us and be their slave in terms of applying everything bad to other people. We think, we use our head. They give us an offer, we say, no, wait, I'm not gonna take it yet, let me think about it. Most people will take the offer because, oh, it's sex, it's money, it's cars, it's women, it's men, whatever. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to...
Maybe I should let you go.
See, now if you listen to that phrase was supposed to be psychological warfare for me. Because they bring in a woman, for example, they think is my type. And that I haven't been with one for a while now. You know, I haven't had a girlfriend in ages. And what does this accomplish? For example, that phrase, she talked to her boyfriend, oh, I'm gonna come and see you right now, or whatever, I'm giving you an example. That's supposed to make you start to think sexually now. Disrupt your rhythm where you want it to go. Because you have to be really focused to come out of this prison. These are defocusing maneuvers. Okay? If you let that get to you and you start to feel bad and then you start to think with your smaller head, then the big head stops working. And that's the idea. This is one element. There's drugs, there's everything, you know? It's a bubble of torture. So I just got attacked right there by that. Why? Why would anybody think, why did he get attacked? What's wrong with him? Well, guys, because you don't know what I'm deprived of, not being able to get, because they're blocking it for me covertly and behind the scenes. Events in my life that I've tried to accomplish and they're standing in my way by putting obstacles or deleting the goal. That's how this works. For example, don't take it as if it's the biggest damaging thing, you know what I mean? That's how you have to see it. You gotta remember, every single word you hear from people saying when they pass by me is designed to do something. It's a weapon. Turn me on, affect my self-esteem, discourage me from doing something. Let's say right now I'm upstairs thinking, I'm gonna go get this job, everything's gonna work out fine. And the job was about fixing cars. So what do? They bring in, let's say, this girl or a guy coming in talking on the phone really fast saying, the fucking idiot wouldn't even learn how to fix the motor. He'd say that sentence to you. That's creating doubt in you for what you want to do next. And that's not just from him. You get to the corner, the girl will say something else. You go inside the bus driver will say something else. So it's this person that studied you, knows everything about you, this entity, and is sending their toy soldiers to attack you every step of the way with their psychological warfare. By what they say, by what they look like, by how they move, by what color shirt they're wearing. This is a science. And I think I'm getting it down to a T. You know? Once you understand what you're being attacked with, you learn how to defend yourself with it and keep going straight in your goal and accomplish what you need to accomplish, you won. But if you take irrational decisions quickly because you're stressed, you're emotional, you're stressed out, then they cap you. They cap you. They cap you. You see, if you say to yourself, I can't take this, I'm going to find a way to escape it tonight. I'm going to go sleep in this building the whole night and run the next morning and make sure I disappear. Wrong, my friend. You cannot beat them that way. That's what they want you to do. Stay focused, stay strong, firm, keep your legs nicely, you know, just cemented into the floor in terms of being strong, not walking and moving forward. And take it a step at a time, block by block. Resist, take the shots, be strong, but make progress on a daily basis. At least a half a block, half a brick. If not, you're losing the game. You have to keep moving forward. That's the rule. No matter how many shots you take, no matter what you do, if you don't, you're losing. Don't think you're tough enough because you're handling it. They're not getting to you. They will tomorrow. They will the day after tomorrow. This is an ongoing thing that's never going to stop. Most likely, it's going to get worse and worse as you move forward. The more bricks you build, the stronger it's going to get. You have to be expecting that in order to beat it, or you can't. The saying, expect the worst and hope for the best, if you can't apply that into your life when you live inside this torture bubble, you will never make it. You have to create your own safety zone, your own small nurturing bubble, and please yourself with the small things, the details, and try to forget about this huge attack. Otherwise, you're screwed. Let me take out the stuff, guys. First, let me take out one small thing and put the phone on it so you can get a view of what is going on. Oh, they smell pretty good. All right, 1 second. I don't know if you can see anything, but I hope you can. All right, so we got un cigarro más. Vamos a ver cómo podemos arreglar la cosota. A ver, dale chico, cojones. Quédate así. Eso. A ver. Eres un mágico. Okay, guys, so thanks for listening to me and watching my videos. Even though some of you guys are hired by the enemy to psychologically warfare my ass, in the end, you're still human beings and you need to make a living. I don't blame you to do that. If I was in your shoes, I'd probably do the same or even worse. I ain't better than you. I'm just like you. But it just happened to be, I'm in this situation, you guys are in your situation. So we gotta make the best of it, both of us. I'm trying to do everything possible in order to make both of us win out of this and the machine lose. Because this is the only thing that doesn't deserve to win here, is the machine. I like the fact that you guys are making money out of this. Not because you're making money out of my torture, but I'm gonna try to get you guys to keep making money, me not get tortured, and both of us win in the end. And the machine to eat shit. That's the goal here. Because the machine is the only one culpable for doing this. I don't blame you guys for doing it. You gotta make a fucking living. You have families, you have expenses, you gotta pay the car, you gotta pay the house, you gotta nail this broad, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, whatever it is that turns you on. But we're gonna both win out of this. I promise you. It's a decision that I have made. And something about me, my personality. When I make a decision, nobody can stop me, man. Nobody. But I have to really make it 100%. It takes a while sometimes. It's been going on for 11 months. I only made this decision about a week ago. And look at the advances I've made. Maybe 2 weeks ago. You know, it takes time. You got to understand that. Everything takes time. Time is the healing medicine for everything. You got to be patient. You got no choice. It's the only way I can fight this. If I don't do this, I'm fucked. I'll lose. These are my options that are laid out for me. I got to play my cards right. And now that I know that I'm, you know, let me see, make sure I got my card, that the house that I'm fighting against, it's a house of cards. You know, you got to pick one card, the weakest one, and rattle the shit out of it till it drops, and then the whole house would drop. This is what I'm doing. We're in the process, and it's going to take a bit more, but you got to do it right. You got to cement the foundation of all these elements. If not, it'll be weak. You know? Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Hallo? Was hast du da drin verkauft? Aber das ist was, ja. Was war das?
So this element right here that just happened, you know, what I'm going through here, it does have attacks on you. The fact that the phone rang, she picked it up and talked. If this happens to you, every single person you bump into, or they talk or make noise, and on your trail, you're always surrounded by at least one or two, what would happen to you in a 24-hour period? Complete dismantlement. But you have to, the only way you could beat this properly is to show that those weapons don't work. And then because it's a narcissistic enemy, they'll try to capitalize and make more of them. It's not the amount here, it's the quality of the weapon that doesn't work. Once you pass them that message, that it's not the amount of weapons you throw, it's not the amount of bullets, it's the bullet itself that's defected to begin with. You have to pass on this message that the bullet doesn't work. Because if you can accomplish that, you won the war. And at least the war that's annoying you in every step of the way, not the war of escaping the prison. That's a completely different war. But the war of annoying you, if you can prove to that enemy that it ain't the amount of bullets that you're shooting me with, it's the actual bullet that doesn't work, you're on your way. I'll upload this video right now, guys.